Good evening. and welcome to the Hobby Corner. Tonight, your host will be me, Kevin, and we will be delving into the illustrious, exciting, grim, and shocking lore and background of the mortal realms that is Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Hey! How you all doing? Hope you're well. We're here, we're live. Yay! Woo woo! Ah, wow. I hope you're alright. Hang on, let me just get that off the Wi-Fi. I don't want any other things to... Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So yeah, I thought I'd do. I was actually planning to do this a few weeks ago, but I thought I'd put it off for a bit just so I could catch up to a benchmark number of issues, painting wise and gaming wise. So now that we've got up to issue 20, I wanted to delve into the lore and the story from issue 21 onwards, and just see how weird and wonderful it gets in the next how many ever issues we get through. So yeah, before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you for sticking around, because boy did that really pee me off. Streamlabs, it had an update the other day, and of course what had happened was it didn't want to stream. It just, for some reason, it wouldn't connect to YouTube, so I had to fiddle with the settings, sort of reset them and then go back to what I had before, and yeah, it seemed to have worked. So anyways, we have our mighty tome right here, and in this one we have the issues from 21 onwards. So I don't know where I'm going to put that mic without it getting knocked. But anyways, hope you like the mood lighting as well. Let's get that up a bit. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. Right, so before we do anything, let's just have a look and see who is in the chat tonight. So we have some absolute legends. So coming in super fast on his rocket ship is Void Captain Bazooka. And then we have the Evergrim Gary Knox. We also have the wonderful Total Nova. Tabletop Ready Minis is coming in ready with his tabletop minis. And who else we got popping in? Oh, hello Nightbot, how you doing? Oh, and there's me as well. So if there's anyone else lurking out there, don't be afraid to say hello. Drop a message in the chat, and yeah, we're going to get started. Do you like my little ruffle? I made it with a pillowcase. It's just a folded pillowcase under my thing. And by the way, yes, it does say Daddy, with the wonderful hits such as Who Is Your, Where Is Your, and I Am Your. Oh, the pickle jars are in there. Hello, how you doing? Pirate Queen Pickle as well. Hope you are well. Thank you very much for lurking. And yeah, let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to bring this over. There we go. Let's break the damn thing while I'm at it. And I just dropped some scenery as well. There we go. Woo, boob flash. Alright, so today in the Mortal Realms we will be looking through some stuff. Let's get that out of the way. Go away, go. You know what? This is a pain, right? I tidied up all the cables with these little clamp bits that I've glued everywhere, but it's no good when I've got to move the cameras. Anyways, shall we dive in? So, yeah, pillowcase ruffle. That old classic, right? Okay, so I think we'll stick with this playlist. Woo, that's coming in hot. Right, just let me know if you can hear that okay. And we'll get started. Hope it's not too loud. So, we shall start with issue 21, of course. Go away, microphone. We don't need you just yet. And of course, we have our little thing from the editor-in-chief, Mr. Ian. And hang on, I just need a slurp of my bin juice. Hot and fresh out the kitchen. All right. Okay, so we are. Oh, I'm getting some glare now. Hang on. This is most unprofessional. Most unprofessional. There we go. Let's cut some of it. Alright. There we go. You know, I was almost about to I did originally plan to have like fake glasses on and that, but then after I saw the Chilling Wargamers stream last night, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get called out for copying again. So I had to ditch that idea. This is a shame. I think I look alright with glasses. Anyways, let's dive in, shall we? So hang on, first of all, issue 21 with the Dread Scythe Harridans, which we got painted last week to the specifications of this issue. You got the Chaos Gods inside and the first battle plan and War Scrolls. Woo. So, a band of brothers. When an unusual or unseemly impossible object arises, the Stormhost leader, or one of his lesser lords, will raise a formation designed to achieve that particular goal. The most common of these temporary formations are known as Brotherhoods. Brotherhoods may include units selected from across a number of different chambers. Usually these formations are carefully assembled and planned to ensure the mission is a success. But there have been occasions when they have been assembled in the heat of battle. So you got some bits and pieces going on in there about essentially brotherhoods just being formed and disbanded as and when they're needed, and they could be as big or as small as you like. One good example is Lord Celestin Vandus Hammerhand, who you may know from the first iteration of Age of Sigmar. He's the dude on the Dracoff with the big old hammer, and he's now available in a small start collecting box called the Thunderstrike Brotherhood, which you have, you know. So there you go. So yes, and I like this scheme here. The Knights Excelsior, who are a bit mad, but we won't get into that just yet. And then of course we got a little bit here. You know what? I don't think you need to see my profile. Let's just away with it. What? There we go. Beautiful. Now you can see more. So, both feared and beloved. For beleaguered mortal armies, the arrival of the Stormcast Eternals is a joyous sight to behold. However, whilst the colours of the storm hosts are associated with heroism and sacrifice, not all are viewed the same way. Some have a reputation for zealotry, oppression, or crazed slaughter. The arrival of the glistening hosts of the radiant sons of Sigmar is likely to inspire hope. The Knights Excelsior, however, are known for their destructive methods of making war, and are treated warily by their allies. Ooh, there you go. I already dropped the bomb there. So, yeah, the nut jobs basically. So the battlefields left behind the Knights Excelsior are scorched and smoking, for their role is that of a holy destroyer and annihilator. That's lovely. You got the Giran Guard, which is this one over here. Hope you can see the details okay. Just let me know if it's all okay. The Giran Guard were formed from a single tribe of warriors that are the last of their kind. They have a special hatred for the pestilent forces of the plague god Nurgle. Alright, must have been a big tribe. The Radiant Sons of Sigmar. In the heat of bloody battle, the Radiant Sons of Sigmar gleam with the brilliance of High Star Sigandil. They are both religious and pure of heart. Okay, so that's them. And then the Blooded Dawn, made up only of those who have fought chaos since they were children. Since they were children! Madness. The Blooded Dawn are incredibly single-minded in their pursuit of the hated chaos foe. Sweet. Cheers, Gary. Hey, Lupus. How you doing, bud? Glad you could join us. Much love. And by the way, just drop in the chat. What's everyone up to tonight? Are you hobbying? Are you just chilling out with a cuppa, listening to me ramble? You know, talk to me. Angels Etheric. So the warriors of the Angels Etheric are all drawn from monster hunting tribes that dwell dangerously close to the magically unstable outer edges of Azir, places hostile to life. So that's these ones here. So very nice. They like to literally live out on the edge. Okay, and then we move into the Chaos Gods. Wow. From beyond the boundaries of reality, the Chaos Gods look upon the 8 realms with hungry eyes. It is in their nature to destroy. Relentless and unstoppable, they seek to invade and corrupt reality. Big hugs to you too, mate. Big love all round, everyone. Alright, so far beyond the light of sun or star lies the infernal, constantly changing realm of chaos. There, the dark gods rule over all. Their rivalry is eternal, each god seeking dominance over their brothers. As one power gains mastery through war, deceit, corruption, or sorcery, the others combine against him. These alliances last only until a new conqueror arises, only to be thrown down in his turn. Other causes can occasionally unite these eternal foes for a short time, for they all seek to dominate the mortal realms by any means necessary. Alright. Finish up painting some bats. Nice. Love it. Okay. So I'm expecting some pictures. So if you got some work in progresses or any finished bits of work, then hop onto Instagram and use the hashtag THCKev, and then I'll get to see it. I'll love to see what you're doing. Touching up some Imperial Guardsmen. Nice. Okay, so Nurgle, the Lord of Disease, delights in decay and physical corruption. The cycle of decay, rebirth, and death draw Nurgle the way a corpse draws flies. During times of pestilence and rampant contagion, Nurgle becomes stronger to great dismay of all his rivals. He sounds delightful, doesn't he? Ah, oh, that's cool, man. Do a little eBay rescue. That's sweet, man. Right, and now we got Khorne. So Khorne is just angry. He's like, Khorne is the most powerful of the Chaos Gods. No subtlety has he. For Khorne is the blood god,
the Lord of Skulls. There is room in his black heart for rage, and rage alone. Khorne only desires are blood, slaughter, and warfare. He seeks to test his might against the most powerful of foes.
I'm spitting everywhere with that one. Bloody boomer. I will just post it up on my Facebook page, mate. I'll see that. Right, let's sip a little bit of bin juice. Cheers. Lovely. Alright, now we got the horned rat.
Yes, horned rat, yes. The great horned rat is blood and pestilence given form. Having recently ascended to godhood, the god of Skaven is not considered an equal by his brothers. No. However, treacherous plotting, yes, has always been the way of the famine. Soon he will rise, yes. All will go. All will be eaten. Always food.
I'm having wild fun with this, man. Who needs a painting session where you could just muck about like this? Alright. Alright, so I ain't got a voice for Zench, I don't know. So Zench's domains are magic and cunning, for he is the god of sorcery and deceit, the changer of ways. The great manipulator and architect of fate is forever coming up with new schemes, plots within plots that are beyond the understanding of mere mortals. Very nice. So, basically, he's just got an excuse for everything. If things don't go his way, he just goes, but I planned it that way. He's like the ultimate way of saving face. And then we got Slaanesh. Slaanesh is... that's wrong. Slaanesh is the Dark Prince, the god of excess and lord of pleasure, and the most beautiful of all the Chaos gods. Slaanesh's throne is currently empty, however, for the god himself is lost. Oh my! His minions feel despair and confusion at his absence, while the remaining powers rejoice. Ooh, I feel that tingle in my nipples. Woohoo! Haha! I know it can be bad form laughing at your own silliness, right? But seriously. Oh dear. So look at that, man. I'm amazed that there's still people hanging around listening to this. So thank you very much for joining, and don't be afraid to say hello in the chat if you haven't already. Just exploring the lore of the realms of Age of Sigmar. Thanks, Gary. I always thought I'd do well in like you know, like a panto, a bit of drag, you know. Oh my! Oh, you make me blush. Alright. Here we go. Of Bones and Blood, Encounters with the Dead by Tyrus von Stadt. So I actually want to do a little like mini recording series of all these little bits and pieces, these clip notes at the end of the whole thing, just to put his whole story together, because I think they're kind of cool. Corn from Cornwall. Yeah, it's in the name, mate. Cornwall, right? Yeah. Ooh-ar. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. Spill that blood, yar. All right. Ah, dear. Okay. Welcome, reader, to the personal journals of one Tyrus von Stutt. Sigmar save his soul. The author was at once an artist, occultist, scientist, and true son of Lethis. This journal is a recording of von Stutt's interactions with, investigations of, and observations on the undead. The accounts within are not suitable for those of a nervous disposition, and are graphic in their descriptions of the horrors that lurk in the expansive wilderness of Shaish. The information contained within is considered to be amongst the most accurate ever recorded by mortal hands, along with a detailed index of some of the more common undead creatures. Tyrus von Stutt records many myths or methods of destroying, banishing, or rendering the dead harmless, making this journal useful reading for traveller, wizard, or warrior. It should be noted, however, that much of this information has yet to be field tested. The Grand Library of Lethis advises against all but the most essential contact with the dead. Silas Rotherfield, Senior Librarian of Lethis. So that's that. Lovely. Okay, and then of course you got the build and paint stuff, which, you know, we've already gone through. Blah, blah, blah. Na, 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 na. And then we'll do all the reference sheets and stuff when we get to it. I did take a page out of this. So I might as well return it. But I need to make sure it's the right page while I'm at it, you know. Get a little bit of housekeeping going, you know. Not that one, not that one. Yeah, that one's a bit odd. Was it that one? I believe so. Not that one. Yep, A1 and B1. There we go. Splendid! And you got the Haunted Halls. Ooh. Alright, here we go. We got a nice double page pull out thing. So we have War of Life. Okay, so the War of Life has raged since the Age of Chaos and shows no signs of slowing down. Ilariel and her Sylvaneth children seek to scour their foes from the Jade Kingdom and restore the lands to their former glory. That's a noble thing to want. The Age of Chaos saw Nurgle's forces invade Ghyran, capturing several realm gates. Their Skaven allies too appeared across the Jade Kingdom, emerging from Norholes to seed the lands with their corruption. As Sigmar retreated to Azir, Ilariel and her Sylvaneth followers soon found themselves alone against their teeming foes. As more and more of the realm fell to plague and corruption, Ilariel herself began to wither and retreat to the hidden vale of Aethelweird, leaving her children to fight on their own. Then came the Age of Sigmar. With the help of the Hallowed Knights, Ilariel was reborn, this time in a new form, one made for war. She has since led the Sylvaneth to many great victories, yet the war continues, for foes still pour into the realm of life with conquest in mind. So, yeah. She's a tough lady, I'll tell you that. So here's Ilariel. Ilariel, or Ilariel, however you want to pronounce it, but she's one tough lady. Look at that, she's got wings of leaves, big old pokey stick, and she rides on the back of a massive stag beetle. So thanks, Void. I do my best, you know. I'm practicing for a profession in voice acting. Yeah, right. Anyways, so Alariel is Alariel or Alariel? Oh, it's up to you. Anyway, she is Queen of the Radiant Wood, All Mother of Gyran, and Goddess of the Realm of Life. Like nature itself, Alariel is both beautiful and merciless. I mean, if you've seen, got to go door. All right, man. I'll see you when I see her. Cheers for tuning in. If you've seen the model, man, she's got gams. Yeah, she's got some nice gams. Like, it's a nice sculpt. Like, the old words are coming out now. For those who weren't born in the 1950s, gams was slang for legs. You know, you got nice gams, got nice legs. Anyways, Alariel's power is linked to the Jade Realm of Gyran. Vitality springs from her form, and in her presence, the ground blossoms with new life. As with all living things, she is a creature of cycles. Her moods and power change with the seasons. It is currently Wrath Harvest. Wrath Harvest or Wrath Harvest? If you're up north, it's Wrath Harvest. If you're down south, it's Wrath Harvest. I feel like it's open all hours. 20p. The seasons of war, time for vengeance against those who have made victims of her children. In her war form, she is frightening to behold, glowing with divine power, standing taller than a Stormcast Eternal, and bearing ancient artifacts and weapons of incredible power. Boom. Banging pins. Exactly. Okay, and then on the back, we got Nurgle. You got to talk from the throat with her. Nurgle is the chaos god of disease and decay, whose power is great, and with death and despair ravaged the mortal realms. Though his enemies fear him, he bestows generous gifts upon his followers. So Nurgle's physical form is truly hideous. He is a swollen mountain of blubber and pus, whose flesh crawls with buboles and seethes with lice. The plague god wishes to see rot and contagion bloom across the mortal realms, drowning his enemies in putrid filth. He it sounds like my kids, really. Kev cry. He delights in the abundance of life that rot and decay bring. Every stagnant lake and rotting forest is a paradise in which parasites and pox can flourish. Wow. Man, I can't think of the word now. It's not alliteration, is it? I don't know. Anyway, but there was a good pop to that line anyway. The realm of life is the greatest prize, for there he can seed his decay through teeming jungles thick with life. Since the dawning of the Age of Sigmar, his forces have been driven back, but his optimism remains, and his ambition for conquest grows daily. Well, you can always listen back whenever you want, mate. So, thanks again for tuning in, mate. And, yeah. Big love to you, man. So, here is the Everspring Swaif. So, this is just a tiny little bit, just a tiny little speck of the Realm of Life. Okay, so, from what we know now, many years after the launch of Age of Sigmar, is that the realms They don't really have hard border. Most of them don't really have hard borders. They kind of just phase out into magic madness. Yeah, so they go from solid, normal-ish sort of centers, and then the further out to the edges of the realm that you go, the more the magic of that realm starts to take hold, and the weirder stuff gets. That being said, they're vast places, okay, and like this is a huge continent, right, but it's only a little speck of the entire realm, so you know, endless possibilities really. Each one is like almost a galaxy onto itself. So we have Gyran is full of life, from colossal beasts to tiny parasitic spores, known as the Jade Kingdom. The realm has suffered greatly under Nurgle's invasions. Once the Jade Kingdoms were glorious to behold, natural wonders growing alongside great civilizations. Those areas near the centre of the realm were carefully cultivated gardens and sunlit lawns, where the kingdoms at the edge of Gyran's vastness were thick with jungle plants that none could pass through. This haven of life drew the attention of Nurgle, the father of plagues. He desired the Jade Kingdoms above all others, and sent the greater portion of his armies to spread their taint. Spreading their taint, eh? Alright, mate. Well, you have a good night, and I look forward to seeing the pictures. Cheers again for popping in. Where was it? He desired the Jade Kingdoms above all else, and sent the greater portion of his armies to spread their taint across those lands during the Age of Chaos, where once there was ardent harmony and constant rebirth. The power of Nurgle introduced blight and disease, and blah 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 blah. Okay, we don't need to go all the way through all that. But there are some places of note here, so you can see there are little Skaven holes. Alright, man, I look forward to seeing you Monday. There we go. Right, so just let that try and focus. Focus, boy. There we go. So you'll notice you'll get these little signs here where you got like little incursions of Skaven, and I need to turn the music down a bit. It's a bit distracting. Alright, man, cheers. You have a good night. Okay, so we've also got like you see these little dots here. They're sort of townships, I think, or cities rather. And then of course you've got great battle moments over here. You've got storm host fortifications, and then you've got realm gates as well, so plenty going on there. But we've got places of note. So we've got the Shimmer Falls, which is over here. The Shimmer Falls of Glorifus. Okay, these floating islands once sent waterfalls of life flowing into the realm below. Some have been corrupted by Nurgle to spread poison instead. Oof. Reed sends with Donald Duck's voice. Oh, hang on. Whenever a plan don't go right. Ah, dear. Anyways, so that's that. Then we got the Aethelwald, the Aethelweird over here. So the hidden veil of Aethelweird was once one of Valerial's secret sanctuaries until it was discovered and attacked by Nurgle's armies. And of course you got like Rotwater Blight right next to it, so there you go. Number 3 is over here. is the Grey Water Fastness, which is this nice city over here, set up by Stormcast and all that. So a marvel of the engineer's art, the city is famed for its black powder weapons. The city's giant forges are operated by the Duoden of the Ironweld guilds. So there you go, it's a very important place. Did I mention that these are realm gates over here and here and here? Anyways, where are we in now? Hammerhal Gyra. There we go. Hammerhal Gyra. Now, anyone who's played the second Warhammer Quest game, which was Shadows over Hammerhal, you would know that Hammerhal is one of the biggest cities in all of the mortal realms. So big, it's actually it exists in 2 realms. It exists around a massive realm gate, which is permanently connected between the realm of fire and the realm of life. And then, of course, you got Hammerhal Gyra, which exists in Gyron, and then Hammerhal Aksha, which exists in Akshi, which is the realm of fire. And they trade between each other because each one supplies what the other needs. So it works quite well. So that's a very important thing. It's built around the Storm Rift realm gate. One half of this great city lies in Akshi, the realm of fire, whilst the other half spills into Verdia in the realm of life. There you go. See, right there. And then number 5 is the Plague Spire. So that's over here, way over here. A settlement created by the followers of Nurgle. The land itself has recoiled from the city's foulness, leaving a pus-filled wound from which the city rises. Ah, that sounds bleh, doesn't it? And then the Phoenicium. Wow, I'm amazed I actually said that in one go. The Phoenicium. Yeah, Phoenicium. It can't be Phoenicium, can it? Anyway, so this is over here next to Lake Cool. All right. Lake Cool, the Dreamlost Realm Gate, and the Elf Grove Wetlands. Ooh. So shrouded in magical golden mist, this city is home to the Phoenix Temple, a group of warrior elves. It is a place of knowledge and learning. Okay, kudos. And then number 7, we zip all the way over here. The Reality Soars. Oh, nice. So a trio of plague lakes where the boundary between reality and chaos has been weakened, allowing demons to spill forth into Gyran. So that's just a constantly open way from Nurgle's Garden. That's nasty. And then number 8, which is over here, is the Jade Wound, the last Dryad fortress of Neos. The Jade Wound is an isolated bastion of nature and order, still standing strong despite the efforts of the Plague God. And that's pretty big work of art right there. And it's in the shape of the Law of Life. So that's pretty cool as well. Possibly. There is possibly a school there. Yes. And welcome, Goblin Crafts. Hope you are well. So that is that. Alright, that's lovely. Did we finish through that? Alright, let's play back through it. I actually enjoyed that playlist. So let's pop that back in there. And now we move on to issue 22. Ooh la la. So in this one we had Khorne, the Blood God, Mephiston Red and Rakkar Flesh, and your first part of the core rules. So this is where all those beginning tutorials end and the playthroughs, and then you get smack bang into actual scenarios. So let's have a look at Stormcast Eternal's Warrior Chambers. Warrior Chambers are one of the 3 strike chambers that make up the Stormhost's main fighting strength. They are filled with retinues of warriors who excel at adapting to any military circumstance. Warrior Chambers are the backbone of the most Stormhost's fighting forces. What? Hey G! What's up? Hope you're well, man. Let us know what you're all up to, by the way, if you haven't already. And if you haven't hit that like button, why not? Hit it hard. Hit it, don't quit it, because I want you still around to watch the rest of this. I make no apologies. You know what you signed up to when you subscribed, alright? So anyway, the warrior chambers of the Hammers of Sigmar were the anvil upon which the Khornate armies of Corgus Kul were broken. They are dauntless warriors who feel no fear. I mean, that kind of sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? So each warrior chamber is made up of 21 retinues of Stormcast Eternals. 21! Ah! Why do I owe you a new phone screen? What happened? Hey Bazza, how you doing? Hope you're well, mate. Hey, if you hit your phone too hard, that's on you, right? Just saying. Just finished a video, checked it up on the... Oh, nice. I actually got a video being released tomorrow as well. Huzzah! Yeah, an actual video. Not like this is what's coming out soon, or talking about latest releases. It's actually a video that I edited and re-recorded like 3 times. So hope you enjoy it. Oh, the Karen Karmasar is coming in, swooping in hot and fast. How you doing, man? Yes, man, get your tweak on. Get your tweak on. Get your tweak on. Tweak those nipples. I didn't make you. You wanted to, mate. That's on you. Anyway, these warriors come from 4 different conclaves. The Angelus conclaves are mobile scouts and flying troops. The Paladin conclaves are powerful infantry. The Justicar conclaves provide range support, and the Redeemer conclaves are the front line foot soldiers. Having this many types of troops available allows the Lord Celestant, who commands each warrior chamber, a great degree of choice when assembling his forces. And it says how the Redeemer conclave liberators are usually the most used stuff because they're pretty much the rank and file. So yeah, don't need to go into that too much really. Work has been tough, so I've been away. Oh, that's alright, man. Glad to see you're still well. The aliens made him, exactly. I have been sipping hot bin juice as well, just as a constant tribute to you. So don't get too mad, Goblin. Anyways, let's get on to it. So we got our warrior chamber here, and it starts off with Lord Celestant, Lord Relictor, up to 3 lords and up to 9 knights. The Angelus conclave, where you got the prosecutors and 3 retinues of them. Then you got the Paladin conclave, where you have 6 retinues of paladins. The Redeemer conclave, we get up to 9 retinues of liberators, and the Justicar conclave, we get up to 3 retinues. Very cool. And then of course you got here what they all do. So Lord Celestant leads each warrior chamber. Each Lord Celestant is a master tactician as well as a fearsome warrior. Some ride upon gigantic celestial beasts, others fight on foot. But the Lord Relictor is more interesting because Lord Relictors are spiritual warriors who can harness the storm magic of the realm of heavens. Gifted with spirit sight, they guard the souls of the fallen allies, ensuring that their spirits return safely to Azir, and so on and so forth. A Lord Veritant is tasked with rooting out chaos. They're often accompany judicators on the field of battle, and together they can reveal hidden sources of corruption. Woo! And then, of course, you got the Knight. Doot doot. Doot doot. Yes, ghoul butts. Yeah, no ghoul butts tonight. Well, you never know, but right. And now we move on to Night Haunt: The Rise of the Wraiths, Part 3. Ooh. So, long before being chosen as the Mortarch of Grief, Lady Olinda had been cursed to an eternity of undeath by Nagash. Ever ambitious, the veiled lady refused to let even death halt her rise to power. In death, she came to rule over the same kingdom she had in life. In old Dolorum, Lady Olinda rose to rule, spreading grief and misery in her wake. Olinda's rise did not go unnoticed. Nagash saw potential in this cunning, vengeful spirit. What? Haha, jolly good. So, Lady Olinda was once a great beauty, famed throughout the empire of Dolorum. Dolorum was the largest of the civilizations from the lands known since the Age of Chaos as the Screaming Wastes. She had schemed, plotted, and charmed her way to a position of power, leaving a trail of ruined suitors and mysterious deaths behind her. Still, her beauty was such that she continued to wind her way upwards, winning the heart of the Prince of Dolorum himself. Her engagement was brief, for the prince and his father, the High King, disappeared. I wonder how that happened. In absence, she became the ruler of Dolorum. She vowed to mourn her missing prince and king and took to wearing a veil. Or a veil, rather. Her people called her the Mourning Bride or the Unrequited Queen. Her public displays of grief won over even the coldest of hearts. Yet it was all a lie. Her sorrow was no more than a trick. You tricky mistress. Hidden behind her veil, she could not help but smile at her own cleverness. Unfortunately for the new queen, the Age of Chaos had arrived. Plague and the attention of the Chaos God Nurgle came to Dolorum, and soon Olinda's sorrows were for her realm. Again, however, her tears were false. She remained safe in her palace, her life a dream, even as all those around her died from disease. Through all of this, Nagash watched Dolorum closely, for its people had always honoured him. The dedication had ended with Olinda's rise. Even when her lands, cities and throne room were empty of life, the cruel queen felt no grief. That's one cold-hearted lady. Maybe she listened to Radiohead's song How to Disappear Completely. Woo! Snap! So, having given a sliver of Nagash's godhood, Lady Olinda calls forth night haunts from across the realms. Oh. It was only when she negotiated with the agent of Nurgle that Nagash marked Olinda as a true traitor. As punishment, he claimed her soul for his own. So did she become the Veiled Lady, or Veiled Lady, however you want to say it. A spectre burdened to feel all the miseries of the mortal realms, and to haunt the ruins of Dolorum forever. Satisfied at this punishment, Nagash turned his attentions elsewhere, giving not a single thought to her fate for many long centuries. When he eventually turned his attention to Dolorum once more, he was surprised at what he discovered. The Veiled Lady, rather than allow her grief and misery to halt her ambition, had risen to power once more. She had dominated the spirits and wraiths that made Dolorum their home, drawing them closer within her aura of grief. So haunted was Dolorum that any living being who stepped within the kingdom's boundaries experienced true terror. Yet Alinda was not happy with ruling over one underworld. She longed to bring more nations, both dead and alive, into her empire of misery. Here at last was the leader of the Night Haunt that Nagesh had been looking for. In a dark ritual, he gave her a small portion of his power, making her Mortarch of Grief. His first task for her was to unite the Night Haunts into a true force, a weapon that could be directed against his many foes. Eager for conquest and power, Lady Alinda readily agreed. She began using her god-given powers to call Night Haunts from across the realms, drawing them to her with a siren call and promising them all vengeance against the living. What's my favourite Korn song? Oh, mate. That's a tough one. I do like Freak on a Leash. It's just too catchy, isn't it? Feeling like a freak on a leash. Feeling like I have no release. Love a bit of Korn. Anyways, so here's Dolorum on the map of Shaish over here. There's some place called Nulamia, and that's where what's her name? Oh, you can't see on the map, but Neferata hangs out in Nulamia. Nulamia. So I'm just gonna bring this. ADIDS, that's a good one. So there you go. It's over here. The Dolorum is over there. And then you got Slid. I don't know why it's called Slid. Maybe because it slid away from the main continent. What up? Alright, so Dolorum was once a powerful and majestic kingdom full of arcane wonders and beautiful works of art. Its people worshipped Nagash, making many offerings in his name. The empire was cursed, however, when the Age of Chaos arrived, and Nurgle's followers spread plague through the mortal population. Almost everyone in Dolorum died of disease or turned to worship Nurgle in desperation. Soon all that remained was a haunted ruin in which the anguished spirits of the dead dwelt, slaying any mortals who were foolish enough to enter the boundaries of their shadowy home. Boom. So that is that, yo. So yeah. The mortal realms are effed. You know, if you haven't got that already, they're absolutely effed. So let's move on to Khorne, the blood god. So Khorne is the leader of the leader? He's the lord. Let's put a bit of aggression into it, yeah?
Khorne is the Lord of Rage and the Taker of Skulls. He is wrath and fury given form, master of slaughter and the embodiment of the never-ending urge to destroy. His demons and legions of mortal followers carve bloody paths of violence across the mortal realms. Roar! Blood full of blood god, skull full of skull throne.
And there you go. That's my voice absolutely trashed for tonight. So Khorne's kingdom lies within the realm of chaos, where he battles his brothers, the other chaos gods, for control. Warfare and slaughter gives him power, and every drop of blood spilt in battle is a tribute to him. The wars that rage across the mortal realms only serve to grant him more power. Whether they know it or not, all warrior cultures pay Khorne tribute, and every single life taken in anger increases his power. His only temple is the battlefield, for the blood god is not worshipped through prayer, but through conflict alone. Those devoted to Khorne seek bloodshed at every opportunity. When no targets present themselves, they will fall upon each other. Khorne welcomes this, for those who slay their allies prove the greatest truth, that real power cannot be shared and must be earned in blood. Like Johnny Vegas. Hey, monkey! Khorne is the Lord of Rage. No, I'm going a bit too Scott there, aren't I? Yeah, should I just do it like Billy Connolly? Khorne is the Lord of Rage and taker of skulls, the bastard. Oh, man. Oh, no, you messed up your voice before. Ah, yeah, you got to be careful. The real trick is being close to the mic and just using the air passing through your voice, your throat, rather than actually forcing it. So, like, if I got the mic up closer. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. There you go. See, it sounds just as good as if I did it far away, and it doesn't put so much strain on the throat. Johnny Vegas ain't Jamaican. How the hell? Wow, thank you very much. You're not the first one that said that my accent goes Jamaican whenever I try. Wow. Yeah, that will do it. That will do it. Anyways, here we go. Skull Takers! A mortal who becomes a follower of Khorne has stepped onto the path of skulls. There we go. At the end of this path lies immortality, but there are many rivals and only the strongest survive. In order to prove their might in battle and loyalty to the blood god, these hopefuls collect the skulls of those they have slain and give them up in worship. The mightier the foe, the greater the offering the skull is. So it is common for Khornate warriors to seek the skulls of leaders. Aha. Ah, that's easy enough, isn't it? Was there like 4 chords? Crikey. The Realm Gate Wars. Oh look, there's a Bloodthirster. Bloodthirsters are the most powerful Khorne's bloodthirsty demons. Wow. And for any Total War Warhammer fans out there, you'll get to fight one of these or have one of these in your army in the 3rd and final chapter of that franchise. So that's really cool. So during the Age of Chaos, Khorne's followers dominated large areas of the mortal realms, particularly the Realm of Fire. Actually, almost all mortal resistance had been crushed, leaving bands of Chaos Warriors to slaughter as they pleased. Their dominance was to be broken, however, for in High Azir, Sigmar had built mighty armies to enact his vengeance. On bolts of lightning, the Stormcast Eternals arrived from the heavens, their task to capture the realm gates from the Chaos Gods. On the Brimstone Peninsula Plateau, the Stormcast Eternals did battle with the Khornate forces of the warlord Korgus Khul. After much vicious fighting, the Gate of Wrath, a dread portal through which Khul's demon allies had been pouring in, was destroyed by the Stormcast Eternals. So you actually got to play all of that through the campaign that was laid out in the 1st edition of Age of Sigmar. It was quite a good one. All across the realms, Khorne's forces now find themselves forced back away from many of their former strongholds. Khorne, however, rejoices at this, for all war serves his needs. So there you go. Brothers and rivals. So Slaanesh, of all his brothers, all of his brother chaos gods, Khorne despises Slaanesh the most. Slaanesh's decadence is directly at odds with the blood god's preference for directness and slaughter. And Tzeentch, Khorne is a god of war and hates magic, seeing those who practice the arcane arts as cowards. This leads him into regular conflict with his brother Tzeentch. So there you go. Brothers be hating. Yeah. Yeah, you would have really shredded it when your faces would. Yeah, exactly. Faces were made of melt. So, the realms. Gore and glory. Ooh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. I actually got this model, but I never painted it. Annoyingly, he's got these massive. He's got 2 axes, right? And they got chains that come off of it. With like little mace balls on the end. And they snap so easy. It's an absolute pain in the ass. So, in the vast magma waste of Akshji's Great Parch, Khorne's followers battled the Stormcast Eternals for supremacy. Wherever slaughter takes place, Scar Bloodwrath, the legendary Khornate berserker, rises to kill once more. How long is this? This is a 2-pager. Oh my days. 2 pages. Woo. So, for long-standing fans of the show, as you know, I call this toilet reading. So basically, it's just long enough that you can enjoy it whilst you're having your morning constitutionals, your ablutions, as they're also known as. But yeah, I can't read everything, otherwise I'll probably get like flagged or whatever. You know, I don't wanna test my luck right now because I'm quite close to monetization. But essentially, it's just a really good little thing. Look, here's, you know what? Here's a bit. Yeah, here's like the first paragraph I can do. Yeah, so Scar Bloodwrath whirled his axes in wide arcs, roaring with every strike. He carried 2 of the brutal weapons, each fitted with flailing chains that smashed into his enemies, even as his aid. My words all mixed up. Let's do it again. Scar Bloodwrath whirled his axes in wide arcs, roaring with every strike. He carried 2 of the brutal weapons, each fitted with flailing chains that smashed into his enemies, even as the blade axes bit deep. His axe strikes cleaved through the golden armor of his Stormcast Eternal opponent. An arc of blood spurted out, splattering across the ashen floor, boiling and hissing as it struck the red-hot ground. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? There you go. And of course you got Warriors of Khorne, so you got Blood Letters, and of course Blood Warriors. So they're pretty cool. And then we move into, we get to finally touch up some details on this. Yeah. Okay. And then we go over, you know, the proper bit of War Scrolls and stuff. Bloody blah. It's all good. Absolute radio. I just realised a page that I put in this one over here. No, it's in the right place. Okay. Then I need to put this one in here. There we go. Sweet. Boom. Sweet. So that's to get back to later. And then of course you got your little playthrough scenario there. So there we go. What did you miss? Yeah, Johnny Vegas acclimatized to Jamaica. Hey monkey, you're driving me crazy. No, that's good Scouse. I don't know what's going on. I can't do accents for accent's sake. Ooh-ar. That's basically it. Ooh-ar. I can't even do my own accent right. That says it all. Anyway, so we got so much time left. It's all good. Issue 23, we do Liberators and Prosecutors, painting your new models and new war scrolls and battle plan. So more of these awesome original minis. So we dive right in. Naked aliens, songs, demons, and sore throats. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, Stormcast Eternals, Liberators. Liberators are the brave and stoic warriors who make up the majority of a Storm host's fighting force. They can always be found at the heart of battle. Now, I love this artwork. Actually got the poster. You get the poster of this with the collection, but it was the inspiration for my Night Quester. Inspiration. You know, for the banged up shield and the heavily weathered armor, because it's just all tatters and everything, and look, half the shield's missing. It's got dents, scrapes, and bumps everywhere. So that's what inspired me to do that. So it's a nice bit of work. So Liberators are the most common warriors fighting amongst the Stormcast Eternals. They belong to the Redeemer Conclaves. They're split into groups of warriors known as retinues, and each warrior of these proud bands fights with the ferocity of a lion, wielding weapons forged in Azir and wearing Sigmar armor that is proof against all but the strongest of blows. Well, that's not true, is it? So, yeah, it just says how they're basically just ordinary men and women who were pushed to the breaking point and took up arms against chaos. That's, you know, that's how they became. Oh yeah, yeah. Donald Duck's Zinch. Whenever you foil one of Zinch's plans, you know, all you hear from the Immaterium is oh dear. I can't do Donald Duck properly. I can't speak with Donald Duck. He's like it just sounds like we go like a pie hitting someone in the face. Alright, so we have some names of characters that you can include in your thing. You know, like what they do with Space Marines. There's a Dantos Vestrian, an Ambrus Cloudbreaker, and a Hyrus Dawnhammer. So you feel free to read about them. Something about them being, you know, of particular note, I'm sure. And in the shield wall, most Liberators wield a Warhammer in one hand and a broad tower shield in the other. They are experts at deflecting the attacks of their enemies. Together, they form an interlocking wall of Sigmarite to meet the charge of the enemy. Once their shield wall has endured the enemy assault or pressed the foe back into close confines, the Liberator strike as one. Boom, boom, boom. And then we got prosecutors over here. So there's some famous ones apparently. You got Ilios Avengale, Byron Glimmerwing, and Atros Solaris. So these are probably featured in stories and short, you know, like short stories and novels and stuff like that. And then you got the Conclave, which is the Angelus Conclave. And their specialist weapons are Celestial Hammers, Storm Call Javelins, and Storm Surge Tridents. That's right, you can get them with tridents. Siege of Klaxus and the Nexus Wars are the most famed battles of note. So streaking into battle on wings of divine light come the Prosecutors. These blade-winged heroes bring the God King's wrath to his enemies. Again, it's just basically about them being quick. They get to fly around. They've got teleporting weapons. Yes, that's right, you heard. So, like, for example, these hammers, they throw them, whoosh, they explode on impact, and then they just get a new one appear in their hand. It's magic. So they're usually used as the vanguard, and they're pretty damn handy. It says here, look, prosecutors simply reach out and weapons born of pure energy appear in their hands. Convenient. Celestial hammers, stormcall javelins, and even mighty two-handed tridents offer themselves to the wielder, glimmering in heavenly power. Hey, hey. Forged in Azir. Prosecutors wear the same Sigmarite armor as many of their Stormcast warrior kin. Theirs, however, has been delicately crafted to allow them to take to the skies on wings of pure celestial energy or light. Their weapons too are exceptional, capable of being summoned to the hands with but a thought. How cool is that? So you got the Comet Sigil up here, which tells you that they're from the Angelus Conclaves. He's got the Celestial Hammers there. He's got the Sigmarite Blade, which everyone has, just for lols. The Sigmarite Plate, of course, his armor. Honor Parchment, which makes a good stand. And Wings of Light, which is pretty cool too. And then GG. Oh, nice. Well, yeah, you enjoy yourself, mate. Have a good one. Thanks again for tuning in. So, the newly dead. Alright. This is cool. So, the undead creatures that are most likely to be confronted in the wilds of Shaiish are created from the bodies of fallen mortals, most commonly Duoden, elves, and humans. These creatures are commonly known as zombies. What follows are observations on these, the lowliest form of undead. The most common undead creatures are raised from the bodies of the recently dead. We live in an age of war and disease, providing necromancers and the like with easy access to fresh bodies. Nagash's curses can also raise the dead, as can the natural amethyst death magic that runs throughout the very bedrock of the realm of death. These types of undead are given many names by the residents of Shaiish, including deadwalkers, flesh crawlers, corpse fiends, and simply the living dead. Zombies created from humans, Duodens, and elves are slow-moving and weak. Those created from creatures such as direwolves or dragons, however, are formidable indeed. Thankfully, the rotting body of a zombie usually falls apart quickly, unless sustained by a powerful necromancer. So there you go. Booyah. Booyah indeed. And then of course we got a little bit on necromancers here, who are dangerous, selfish magic wielders who seek nothing more than to prolong their own life or carve out their own kingdoms with undead followers. And then you got the dire wolves, which are just zombie wolves, which are really nasty because they still have a bit of intelligence and an ability to hunt in packs. And then you got the corpse carts, which are also a fan favourite. Christopher Lee, I wasn't even putting on my bass voice yet. Leave now. Leave now. Or forever suffer. I don't know. If I try and do it, I can't do it. You know what I mean? At least that's what I say with the wife. Anyways. But let me know some alternative names that you give zombies in the chat. Why don't you? Let's see how many can we come up with. So Deadwalkers. While they are one of the least powerful forms of undead creature, Deadwalker zombies can prove dangerous to the unprepared. My advice is to anyone who encounters a zombie is to flee. The creatures are usually slow and ponderous, with no intelligence at all. Unfortunately, this also means they feel no fear, and will fight on despite terrible losses. If confronted by such creatures, keep moving. Avoid being overwhelmed by sheer weight of numbers. Aiming blows at the head and limbs of the creature produces the best results. Alright, so yeah, and then of course we get to put them together, but I've already collected these, so you know, I've already had to put them together and paint them and stuff like that. But this was just before Push Fit became mainstream. Yeah, like Push Fit really started to become a thing when they did the old magic stuff. So you still had to glue these together, but they were well put together. And then of course you get another updated war scroll here as well, which is cute. Oh, look at that, prosecutors as well. And see, the celestial hammers have both a range and a missile weapon and melee weapon profile, because you know they can lob them. And then a warrior chamber descends, so you get into more stuff like that. Okay, that's really cool. Can't wait to get playing on that. So what have we got so far? Smelly Gits, Shufflers, Dim Boys, Sloppy Seconds. Oh, that's nasty, mate. That's nasty. That's disgusting. Disgusting. You dirty, disgusting bastard. Okay, so issue 24. I think we're doing all right, actually, considering how much we've read through and got sidetracked and stuff. Now, I know we've been enjoying our classical string quartet sound thing, but let's let's change it up a bit, shall we? A one-man quartet. Oh, traditional Christmas. Nah, that's all right. Lively strings? Ooh. So at odds with the Hobblers, Limpy Maggie. Limpy Maggie. I love it. Okay, so in this one you got new Nighthaunt reinforcements, which was a really good sprue, actually. You got all of that on one sprue, so that was pretty cool. And you learn about Lord Executioners. Woo! You know what? I think we should really just like yeah, let's just stick to the horror stuff now. Hey, this is not good. How you doing, buddy?
Crump 'em, you gits.
How you doing, bud? How's your father? Barbarers, as in they're coming to get you. Okay, right, so Lord Executioner. There is no hope in your soul, and there shall be no redemption. Woo! So, in the living world, there are many executioners tasked with ending the lives of the guilty, often by axe stroke or at the end of a noose. Amongst these executioners are those that knowingly slay the innocent and claim that they are just doing their duty. These mortals are likely to attract the attention of Nagash. So they are created from the souls of those that either took no care to ensure their victims were guilty or enjoyed their work far too much. These souls are marked for punishment upon their deaths. Nagash prefers to curse those who were eventually slain by the relatives of those executed. Ooh, that's nice. So these doomed souls are remade into spectral form of the Lord Executioner and charged with slaying heroes, champions, kings, and anyone else who defies the laws of Nagash. Very nice. And look at this. I love this. Look, they are also accompanied by the disembodied souls of their former victims. You know, just to really torture them. That's cool. They ward off dangers and block enemy sword blows and spells. They don't do it out of kindness, but so that their killer can never escape the executioner's bloody work, regardless of how much he wishes to repent. Whoa, that's bitter, right? That is bitter. Just put 20 miles on my road bike. Nice. Very nice. Feeling all fresh and pumped up now, eh? So, the Executioner. Look at that. He's got the gallows hanging from his back. The hangman's noose is right there. He's got the Executioner hood on. Decapitating great axe. Disembodied skulls that just go woo. And ethereal mist, which just shrouds everything. Do you think like they sound like you know the end of what's that song from Led Zeppelin? Oh man, I can't remember what it's called. You know, run from the land of the ice and snow with the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. But at the end it's like ooh, ooh. Can you imagine those ghosts just going around just doing that all the time? That would be my worst nightmare, because it's just like the worst part of the song, of an amazing song, right? And they don't stop repeating that ooh. Oh man. Oh dear. Run from the land of the ice and snow with the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. Immigrant song, that's it. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I knew as soon as you say it, I'd remember it. Right, we have the Grimghast Reapers. They are formed from the souls of those who murdered their rivals without getting blood on their own hands. In death, they had been cursed to slay Nagash's enemies in the most brutal fashion, staining their hands red with blood. Nice. It says here, in life, those who were to become Grimghast Reapers were careful, precise killers. They planned and plotted, worrying over every facet and act of cruelty they committed. All took great pains to see that they would not have to act in violence themselves. The deaths they caused were brought about through whispered lies, poison, or the activity of mercenaries. In death, Nagash has seen fit to punish these souls with everlasting bloodshed in the most frenzied and obvious manner possible. The curse that afflicts the Grimghast Reapers also renders them utterly blind. Lovely. Oh dear. You're right, man. So, yeah, hang on. Where is it? They're fast, even just like being blind. They swing their scythes around and go mad. They just kill until there's no one left. So yeah, that's it. The blind geists. Ooh, we got a little story bit now. You know what? I can actually. Let me just move this over here. I am no longer Saruman the White, but Saruman the Many-Colored. Okay, so in the foothills beneath bloody tongue again. In the foothills beneath the Dyfic Mons of Stygiz, I was unfortunate enough to find myself caught up in a battle against the Nighthaunts. While I can recount no heroics of my own, the battle will never fade from my memory. I witnessed with my own eyes the charge of the Grimghast Reapers. They swept across the barren land in blind fury, scythes slashing wildly. Our pikemen had nowhere to flee. The unseen spirits crashed into them, and the living fell like a field of wheat at harvest. The Geists emerged from the fray, slick with blood, their maddening cries spreading panic throughout ranks. We were fortunate indeed to win the day, though the cost was great. Alright, man, you have a good one. Cheers for stopping by, mate. Big love to ya. So that's From the Musings on the Realms, a Guide for the Curious by Tarlach Malthar. It's these little story bits that I want to put into a series. Pretty good. Oh, look, we got Death Nails as well. Ding 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 ding. Dinner time. So. Oh, it's saying my stream keeps slowing down. I do apologize if there's any buffering or anything like that. I hope it's alright though. See, let's go. Right, so the champions of the Grimghast Reapers are the extollers of Shaish. Once spiritual leaders who spoke out against Nagash, they now bear death knells. When these bells strike flesh, they can shake a mortal soul loose from its body. Well, I should think so, because the size of the bloody bell will crush the poor git anyway. Ah, dear. Oh, and then we got here, look, sanctified shrouds. The Grimghast Reapers are blindfolded with sanctified shrouds. The holy power contained within these thin strips of cloth
utterly blocks out the Geist's sense of sight. Most Nighthaunt spirits possess witch sight, which allows them to see magical auras and other spirits in the air around them. Even this vision is denied to the Grimghast Reapers. All they can do is swing their scythes and press forwards in the knowledge that eventually the blood of the foe will cover their hands. Lovely. But the extollers of Shaish do not wear blindfolds. They alone are permitted to see. So yeah, it's basically they just ring the bell and say, "Huh, go get them, boys." So what do you lot think about the Mortal Realms so far? I mean, I think that it's a pretty dire place to live, right? Oh well, I mean, like it's any setting from 40k or Age of Sigmar is absolutely bloody terrifying, right? So let's get on with it, shall we? So Gyran, you know, I'm gonna see if that changed the light on it. Oof, not too much glare. Yeah, that might help a little bit with the light. Okay, so the realms, Gyran. Gyran is the realm of life. Well, much of it has been corrupted by the vile followers of Nurgle. Many mortals still make their homes there. Some of the greatest cities in all the realms are in the Jade Kingdoms. So we already read all about this in the pullout. So we don't really need to cover that too much, to be honest. But yeah, some good stuff going in there. Yeah, Hammerhogara, the Living City, raised by Elariel herself. The Living City is a bastion of nature. Its walls made of living thorns. Sylvaneth live alongside mortals, and the Hallowed Knight's great Stormkeep, the Oaken Spire, towers over the city. And then we already read about the Grey Water Fastness as well. But look how badass that is. Hey, that's a nice bit of artwork there. So oh, this is something different though. The people of Gyran. The people of Gyran live their lives in concert with the natural order. Gyran is a realm of seasons. Bountiful springs and summers are often followed by harsh winters. Many of the people who make their homes here are nomadic, particularly the elven wanderers, who live in harmony with the forests. Some enterprising mortals, such as the Duoden and human weaponsmiths of the Ironworld's arsenal, use the realm's natural resources to further their experiments and industry. This puts them at odds with Elariel, goddess of life, but all, even those who live in the larger cities, find themselves under constant threat of attack. For whilst Nurgle's worshippers have been driven back, they still control much of Gyran. So there you go. Well, you know what? There's plenty of stories out there that do that. Gee, just like regular people who about their lives, and all of a sudden, some 7-foot dude caked in blood and gore just like stomps into the village and slaughters everyone they know. Da, da, da. Living in the mortal realms is so amazing. Come and visit anytime. Alright, so you got your whole building and painting thing going on here. It's pretty simple. The standard that you get it to. And we'll cover that at a later point. And then of course you got the playthrough here as well. So it's all good, all good. Alright. And then I think we will call it at issue 25 because
don't know about you guys, but my throat is starting to get on the sore side here. So, in issue 25, got Discover Nurgle, the Plague God, and rules for magic in your games. Okay. So, if there's any questions, you know, just shout them out in the chat. And of course, if there's any bits that you're unsure about, then just let me know. I can always double check it, clarify it, whatever. But let me know what you think so far. What is your favorite? What would you rather? Where would you rather live? Would you rather live in the ashen wastes of Akshi, where you're likely to be on the butcher's block? The lustrous forests of Gyran, where Nurgle's Rock could seep into you at any point? Or would you prefer to be in the land of Shaish, where literally everywhere is just, you know, out to get you? Like literally, that you unless you live the most pious life, Nagash is gonna twist you up when you're dead. So I know it's man. Thank you so much for popping by. Big love to you, man. Right, let's run through it. 1,000 Storms, Part 4. Part 4? Jeez. So the forces of chaos have been forced back across the mortal realms, but they, by no means, are defeated. Meanwhile, in the realm of death, Nagash's elaborate and malign plans begin to take form. So you got different things going on here. These are different moments of battles and stuff. Most of them would have appeared in short stories and novellas and whatever, but you got the Ebon Circle, the Shattered Siege, Running with the Pack, Purity Without Compromise, Visions of Undeath, Descent of Meteors, the Harbingers, March Out. So this is all sort of leading up to when the first edition slipped into second edition Age of Sigmar. So if you get a chance, read up on it, because it's some good stuff there. And then we got the Realms, Magic in the Mortal Realms, Part 2. The arcane power courses through the mortal realms, and each realm is shaped by its own unique magic. Light and grey magic is the focus in this one. So of all the various types of magic, light and grey are perhaps the most opposed to another. Light magic is strongest in the realm of Hish and concerns illumination, purity, symbolism, and learning. It can banish shadow and reveal hidden truths. Masters of light magic may cast spells that sear the flesh from the unholy or betray those with deceit in their hearts. Grey magic, meanwhile, is closely linked to the realm of shadow, Ulgu. Where light reveals, shadow obscures. Grey magic is found in shadow and mist, a force of misdirection that fuels illusions and lies. It is associated with nightmares, dreams, cunning plans, and hidden meanings. Spellcasters who favour grey magic often use it to mask their movements, hide themselves from danger, and avoid prying eyes. You'd live on the coast. There's no sanctuary, man. All you do is buy yourself time. The two realms where these opposing forms of magic are strongest, Hish and the realm of light, Ulgo, the realm of shadow. Oh, I got mixed up there. Hish, the realm of light, and Ulgo, the realm of shadow, are locked in orbit with each other. Between Hish
and Orgo lies the small pocket realm known as Ulgish, or the Hidden Gloaming. This region is on the boundary between light and darkness, and elements of both realms' magic intermingle with each other in the gloomy twilight before departing or darting apart again, repulsing by contrast natures. Ooh, cool. Alright, and you know the old like magic stuff that you can do. So you got the prismatic palisades, and you also got the umbral spell portal. So when the prismatic palisade is summoned, a crystalline wall shimmers into being, so intense the light that emits from it that all must avert their gaze or be struck blind. Entire armies can thus be halted in their tracks. And the umbral spell portal appears to most mortals as little more than a swirl of murky shadow. Only those who possess great arcane power can see through the portal surface. Into the opening, they can cast their magic, increasing the range of their spells. That's a real blooming dirty trick, that one. And then of course it goes on into Jade magic, which is the magic of life, and the strongest in Gairan, and it helps with growth, healing, and the power of nature. And then you got Amethyst magic, which is the magic of death. So it's centered upon death and the ending of things. It hovers over battlefields, cairns, and graves. A cold power full of doom and inevitability. So the Endless Swarm is one such spell that you can use from the realm of life. So it's like buzzing insects and stuff. But it seeks out the wounded, flowing into damaged tissue, healing muscles and tendons, and sealing broken skin. So that's pretty cool. And then you got the Suffocating Gravetide, which is a wizard can pull souls of the dead to the surface and unleash them on their foes in a rolling wave of anguishing moans, grave dirt, and clawing spectral hands. I mean, like, you know, if you got a fear of being buried alive, that's right up there, right? That's mortifying. And then, of course, we got the Necroquake here. So the Necroquake had many devastating effects upon the realms. The most immediately obvious effect, however, was the wave of amethyst magic that emanated from Shaish. This wave of death caused the dead to rise from their graves in every one of the mortal realms. In addition, Shaish itself has forever changed, with death magic drawn to the center of the realm, creating the Shaish Nadir. Boom. Basically, there's a hole in the middle of the realm of death. It's like a big old plug hole. And then we move on to Nurgle, God of Plagues. Yeah. I'll put on a voice for this one. Why not?
Nurgle is the Lord of Decay. It is he who unleashes famines and disease upon the world. Sooner or later, every mortal feels Nurgle's pestilent touch. When crops spoil, when wounds fester, plague runs riot. Prayers are offered to Nurgle, and the mortals suffer a terrible fate. All praise Papa Nurgle.
Oh man, that wrecks my voice more than the corn one. Alright. There we go. Got my voice back. So unlike his brothers, Nurgle is portrayed as kindly and jovial. He is known as Grandfather Nurgle to his many blighted followers. Though he is the god of decay and his body is full of disease, Nurgle loves life, be it a crying baby or a bubonic plague. Those who worship Nurgle seek his approval, for he bestows great gifts upon his most loyal followers. Nurgle's mortal followers, largely known as Rotbringers, are toughened by their god's generous gifts to the point that they are almost impossible to kill with mortal weapons. Nurgle's demonic legions are led by great unclean ones, gigantic mounds of rotting flesh, crafted in the image of their grandfather. From their rotting guts spill Nurglings, spiteful, playful little demons. Alongside them march plague bearers, dour tallymen, who must endlessly count the diseases coursing across the battlefield. John Merrick. Wow. Okay. Thank you. So grandfather's gifts. Let's have a look. We got mortals usually turn to Nurgle in desperation, but soon come to appreciate the gifts he bestows. Mortal bodies bloat and decay, entrails spill from gaping wounds, and yet these disgusting mutations only serve to make Nurgle's followers more resilient. I mean, okay, if you just call it leprosy, you know, and be done with it. And then of course you've got some characters here who've got weird things going on with their bodies. So lovely. This guy was starving when he prayed to Nurgle, and now he has a nest of reefing tentacles replacing his groaning stomach, and he hungers no more. I mean, that'll do it, right? And his body fused with his armor, so he doesn't feel pain anymore because he kept having illness throughout his entire body. And this dude, he is now tougher than ever and takes great pleasure in spreading disease with his own entrails. Lovely. And then they got the Garden of Nurgle. Nurgle's own realm is a nightmare jungle of pus-filled rivers, bubbling lakes of contagion, foul-smelling foliage, and lethal clouds of fungal spores. No living being could hope to survive within the plague god's garden for long. Dotted amongst the trees, surrounded by clouds of flies, forests of rancid blubber and corroded metal loom over the landscape, garrisoned by armies of plague bearers. As Nurgle battles his brothers within the realm of chaos, his garden expands with every victory and shrinks with every failure. When his might is at its peak, the Garden of Nurgle can even burst its boundaries and overflow into territories of his fellow Chaos Gods. At the heart of the garden stands Nurgle's manse. The Dark God lumbers about his pus-seeping fortress, whistling phlegm-thick tunes as he gathers ingredients for the latest plague that he is concocting. Crikey. Can you imagine if I got tongue-tied that easy? Oh. Right, and then we go on to Purifying Flame from the Bright Wizards. So they are mages that harness flame and fire. Oh no, this isn't. Oh no, this is a mini story, isn't it? Ooh, yeah. Okay, so some more toilet reading. Love it. I'll read the first bit of it, and then of course I have to leave it there because okay, I don't get in trouble. But let's do. Valentin Embrath stood atop the canvas-coated wagon, observing the scene before him. His caravan had passed into the shadow of a seemingly abandoned tower, its broken observatory decorated with leering skulls. They had not noticed the group of dead walkers beneath the tower until it was too late. The undead creatures seemed to have been drawn to the structure like moths to a flickering flame. They had noticed the wagons now, though. "Pull back and draw them in," Embrath bellowed to his pikemen, who had formed a perimeter. The soldiers raised their polearms and scurried back towards the wagons, the zombies now shambling towards them in a growing horde. And there you go. That's all I dare to say. So enjoy it. But you got a little bit about Bright Wizards, Arcane Towers, It's a shame you can't get that kit anymore. I mean, that was like a pretty darn good kit, right? And it was massive. And of course, you got Dead Walkers as well. And then look, you get to go back to your Mausoleum set and paint it up some more. Okay, that's cool. It's good to see that they haven't abandoned the kit entirely. And then there's a bit more on wizards, like the full rules. So this is core 4. So these are the core rules on casting spells, Arcane Bolt and Mystic Shield, and how it works essentially with unbinding, units of wizards, that sort of thing. And then we've got more updated war scrolls, which is also cool. And then skirmish at Hallowstone Hold. So again, there's another bit there, and of course it's just before you get some more terrain to play. And there you go. And then, oh look, there's a pull-out for the Forces of Death, but we're gonna have to leave it there tonight because I don't want to spoil all the fun for you lot. So I think we've done all right tonight, haven't we? I think we've done pretty darn good. So there we go. Hang on, just affix my ruffle. There we go. Good move, ruffle up. Oh. And that concludes the story time tonight. So yes, it's always good fun to have a good read through it. And you know what? I don't get a lot of time to read through these. So doing this with you lot and just having a good laugh and a chat as well while we do it really sort of, it makes the experience more enjoyable. And of course I will be reading through those little mini stories during my my constitutionals, as they call it, and it's a good way of just avoiding being on your phone, because let's face it, everyone these days, you're just on your phone when you're on the toilet, and I'm sure if they swapped it, there'd be all kinds of nastiness on your phone, even if you are good at washing your hands and stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you again so much for tuning in. It's been a great laugh, and I'm back on Monday at 8:30, of course, with another playthrough. So this is going to be interesting. And then of course every Friday again at 8 as well. We'll be back at painting. I'm going to look at getting some guests in as well. It's been a while since I've had guests on the show, and it's just because of scheduling uncertainty that I haven't tried to bring more people in. But let's just there we go. Now you can see me in all my beauty. My little ruffles. So yeah, as always, if you're not already subscribed, do please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so you don't miss a thing, because why would you want to? I also have lots of links down below for social media and stuff like that. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Why do I always forget that? I don't know, but if you haven't already, whack that like button. Yeah, social media links in the description below. If you want to show off your current projects and stuff, then on Instagram use the hashtag THCKev, and I will be able to see what you're up to, or you can just send a message to me through Messenger or whatever. And of course there are fantastic Facebook groups down there while we're at it. Always check out the Chilling War Gamers. I'm a proud member of them, and yeah, they're awesome people, full of amazing content creators, and they've got a great community, so go check that out. And lastly, if you do want to support the channel, there are a myriad of ways in which you can donate and so forth. But if you are looking to pre-order or buy yourself issues from the Mortal Realms,
Then hit that link to Forbidden Planet, get your stuff there. Each issue is 50p cheaper, and I get a little kickback, so it's no extra cost to you. And the same for all your other hobby supplies. If you go through Element Games, again, I get a nice little kickback, which helps the channel going, and it don't cost anything extra to you. And in fact, you get some nice savings there. Don't forget to use the code as well. There's a code just above the link. You get bonus loyalty points, so go for it. As you can tell, I can't even hold my own accent. It's amazing, right? That's what happens when you start doing other accents. You slip in and out of it. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you there. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic night. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will. Oh, don't forget, yeah, I've got a video going live tomorrow. Check it out. But apart from that, yeah, have a good night, have a good weekend, and I'll see you Monday. Peace.